Alright, hello everybody, welcome to another video, a video that can only be described as a vlog. I hate that word. I've gone my entire 10-year YouTube career, if you want to call it that, without ever using the word vlog. But, well, let's face it, it is what it is. I remember like back in 2015, Casey Neistat used to have a little gorilla pod. Get one of them. So we are traveling to Svalbard. So the first thing I need to do is figure out which camera gear I'm taking. I'm going to take quite a selection. Why are we so... Oh, there we go. I'm going to take quite a selection. And I've got something quite cool in here. I also have something quite interesting in here. Down here is my... This is my film photography drawer, which you can just see there. That says film cameras. And I'm going to be taking something from within this drawer. Yeah, that's right, I'm taking the Hasselblad XPan 2. I've not shot this for a while actually. Now the reason I'm taking a couple of different cameras, one is because I love shooting film. I absolutely adore it, even more so in interesting environments. So what I actually want to achieve with this camera, which probably won't happen, but by golly I'm going to try, and that is to photograph a polar bear. Can I photograph a polar bear with the XPan 2? That's basically my mission on this trip. But another reason for taking the film camera is to mix up the content. I find that when I go on a photography trip for more than a few days, I find that by releasing videos from that trip back to back, so you know, part 1, part 2, part 3, they don't do well. People watch the first one because it's different and interesting, and then the views fall off video after video after video until then the next trip. So I'm kind of hoping that by releasing a video about me traveling to Svalbard, which is this one, and then an actual proper, more, shall we call it, cinematic video of beautiful photography in Svalbard would be video number 2, and then video number 3 would be something more specialized, which is the XPan 2 film photography, which probably I won't release till much later in the year, and actually won't be centered around my trip to Svalbard, but the video will be so much more about the camera and the film. By the way, this is what my office looks like 99% of the time. Absolute chaos. So all of the gear that's coming with me, I'm just gonna put in one pile on the floor. Definitely gonna want the 100-400, 24-70 f4. Oh, my case filters. In here should be So I'm borrowing the Nikon Z8 for this trip because of the capabilities that this has with wildlife photography, the autofocus, animal tracking, and all of that stuff, plus the video features in this. So I'm going to take this with me, give it a proper run for its money, rather than the last time I looked at this camera when I had about 2 hours up on a grey, windy Yorkshire moor. I've also got something quite nice to go with this. A gentleman called David got in touch and offered to loan me what is in this bag. So usually I don't like borrowing other people's things. I don't mind borrowing companies' things like Nikon, but when an actual viewer of the channel gets in touch and says, do you want to borrow such and such, I'm a bit uncomfortable because I don't want to break it, I don't want to ruin it, you know, I don't want to be responsible for that. However, David offered me a loan of his 14-24. And I've got to say, I bit his hand off because I wanted to borrow this lens for Svalbard, but Nikon haven't got one. In fact, they're like gold dust at the minute. So he just reached out and said, oh, I've just so happened to have this lens, I don't really use it. And I was like, oh my God, it's perfect because I'm going to Svalbard, so I would love to borrow it. This is my spare Fuji X-T4 body and the GoPro. I will bring these with me for video. If I break my video camera, which honestly happens a lot, well, that's it. Game over. You know, it's my job to create these videos, so I always have a backup. We have 2 rolls of Portra 160 and 1 roll of Fujifilm Acros 100, which is a black and white film. Spare batteries for the XPan, microphones for filming, spare memory cards. So this is more or less all of the video and filming equipment that is going to go with me on my carry-on onto the airplanes. I can't talk like this, hang on. This is the new Shimoda Action X version 2, which was once described in a YouTube comment on my video as a massive banana. Now the Action X is a fantastic bag, but the version 2 is better, slightly better, a few different updated features. But for me, the number one selling point, aside from the beautiful yellow colour, is the fact that the waistband should... Okay, so the waistband comes off, which is great for travel, but it doesn't come off very easily. I was hoping that it would just quick release, but there's a strap here, and I'm not sure I'm going to get that strap. Well, I think that was me making a mountain out of a molehill. We've removed the waist strap, we'll get this packed up and cinched down, and it should be fine for airline travel. If it's not, I always like these bags because worst case scenario, if the airlines say that this is too big to go in the carry-on luggage compartment, well, you can just remove the camera insert, and it comes with this little bag, and this can be your carry-on. I'm having problems fitting everything in, so there's only one question you need to ask yourself is what can you do without in a worst case scenario? So these two cameras are backup cameras. These can actually go in my carry-on. Not my carry-on, my hold luggage. Now I'm not at all concerned about these getting damaged. I'm very confident they won't be damaged. I will protect them. My hold luggage might get lost in transit, and if that happens, well, I'll have no clothing, I'll have no tripod, and I'll have no backup cameras, all of which I can live without. You've got to think like, okay, so what's the worst that's going to happen? The absolute worst case scenario is I'm in 𝘧𝘧𝘧𝘪𝘀𝘴𝘦, I've got no bag, but luckily I still have all my camera gear, so that's fine. I go shopping, I spend a ton of money on new clothes, which I claim back from insurance, and I'm without a tripod and I'm without spare cameras. That's not a big deal. So that's everything more or less packed. I've still got a few other bits and pieces to go through and lots of things to stress over, but I always do this, I always get stressed, and really all I need to remember is the only thing I need is passport, credit card, and a camera and a lens. That's it. Everything else is just extra, it's just a luxury. So I don't need to worry too much about it, and yeah. Starting to get excited now. This is the camera gear that's going in the whole luggage. Tripod, video tripod, spare main shooting camera Z7 II, and a spare video camera X-T4, and I've got filters and a little blower. And actually, bear with me 2 seconds, I think maybe we'll take some binoculars as well. So all that's left to do now is tidy up in here, get a few charging cables sorted out, pack some clothing that I'll need there and some waterproofs, then I need to get my passport, and then we've got to go to 𝘧𝘧𝘧𝘪𝘀𝘴𝘦 in Svalbard. So from now on in, we'll switch to the GoPro and we'll do a quick montage, and then we'll be at the hotel in 𝘧𝘧𝘧𝘪𝘀𝘴𝘦. How exciting! We have made it to Svalbard. We are here in 𝘧𝘧𝘧𝘪𝘀𝘴𝘦. I don't think I've actually mentioned what I'm doing here in Svalbard, but sometimes in life you've got to say yes to opportunities and you've got to take chances. And that's exactly what I did 3 months ago, and that's why I'm here today. I have chartered an expedition ship to sail around Svalbard in search of wildlife and landscapes. And this is a trip I've been trying to do for about 5 years now, and due to one thing or another it's fallen through. But now it's finally happening. So about 3 months ago, Brendan Van Son, old friend of the channel, who by the way I haven't seen since 2019, that's 4 years, and he's in the bar, and I'm going to meet him in 10 minutes, so I'm very excited about that. He got in touch with me about 3 months ago and said, Tom, this expedition ship has all of a sudden become available. Do you fancy chartering it and going around Svalbard? And I was like, no, definitely not. You can't bloody charter an expedition ship with 3 months notice. But we had a conversation and we agreed that if we could get this boat at basically rock bottom price, we had a chat with the cruise company, one thing led to another, we got the boat at a very, very good deal, and therefore we were able to pass on those savings, and then this trip is born, basically. So that's what we're doing. yeah, I'm excited, incredibly excited. For me, this is a bucket list item. I'm also very nervous. And yeah, so I'm going to go to the bar now, meet Brendan. Also Jonas, who came to Nepal with me. He's in the bar as well. There's another chap called Neil. So we're all going to meet, have a good catch up. And then, I think after that, we get to go and see the expedition ship, which is very exciting.
My head is like a beacon.
So Brendan, how's it been since 2019?
Well,
what have you been up to?
Went broke. Started a coffee business. Got rabbits and guinea pigs. And yeah, life is good, just different. So I've stolen Tom's GoPro. And I don't know what I'm gonna say. I just realized his GoPro was left behind and I thought I'd steal it. So this is Jonas. That's Neil. Hello. And I'm Brendan. And I don't know what I'm gonna say, so I'm gonna stop stealing his hard drive space. Bye for now.
Out into the great wide open. Look out, world. Here I come. Hoist up my sails and ride the wind.
Alright, so we have made it on the ship. It's all chaotic, but the ship is fantastic. It's just the perfect size. It doesn't feel like a big cruise ship. It's actually really small, and it has a fantastic ice rating, which means we can go where lots of other ships cannot. We can break through ice, so it's going to be a real expedition. And we're working very closely with the crew, so Brendan and I can make decisions as to where to go and what we're going to try and see. It's going to be fantastic. My room is comfortable, and the ship itself is, well, it's a bit of a rabbit warren, to be honest. So yeah, man, it's going to be exciting. But I'm going to end the video here, and whilst we are just sitting outside of 𝘧𝘧𝘧𝘪𝘀, I'm going to try to get this video uploaded. So if you're watching it, then I managed to get it uploaded using 4G in less than an hour before we set sail, because I'm going to be offline for the next 10 days. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, but do tune in next time for what will be the proper adventure. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. All right, see you then. Cheers, guys.